The holiday season's finally over, and I hope you all had a wonderful time, or at least tough to wait through it. Nomaru-san has finally healed up from his sickness, and let me tell you, things are once again getting very interesting. What's going on, everyone? My name is Animasu, and today we'll be going over Blue Lock Chapter 288, Part 2, titled Death Game. If you enjoy staying up to date with Blue Lock, or just want to support my channel, please click that subscribe button and comment below your thoughts. My community Discord is also linked below in the description, so feel free to join that as well to chat with me and other fans of the series. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right back into the Beam vs PXG match. Blue Lock Chapter 288 Part 1 begins with a sad tone as we see Isagi Yoichi walking away from Igarashi, who's left sobbing on the pitch. While this may be a sad situation, the bright side is that we get a new player on the field with a substitution from Bayern Munich. With the announcers screaming out and us visually seeing a player put on their glasses, you know exactly who's coming on next. The goggled street dribbler YUKIMIYA has once again made an appearance, finally getting some playtime after denying his offer. Replacing Igarashi the monk on the left wing, Yuki takes some time to adjust his glasses while assuring Bayern Munich that the envoy of victory has arrived. This is actually a pretty cool wordplay from the author, as envoy works as a double entendre here for both the English and French meaning of the word. Anyways, with Isagi then glaring over at YUKIMIYA, he makes the realization that Bayern Munich's left side will now skyrocket in offensive power. With Noah being seen posted up on the sidelines, Isagi realizes that by subbing in a player suited purely for offense, he's basically giving them the order to immediately finish this game and win. With both players craving nothing less than victory, YUKIMIYA and Isagi Yoichi both acknowledge one another, now sharing the pitch with a former rival. A cute little detail here is over on the bench, we can see Corona trying his best to comfort Igarashi as he cries his eyes out. He's mainly just patting his head while paying more attention to the pitch, but hey, the Shark Boy's doing his best. The game then finally resumes with Gin Kagamaru kicking in the ball, assuring the rest of his team that victory will be theirs. With the game at match point, tied 2-2, the player to first receive the ball was actually YUKIMIYA himself. Tokimitsu is seen barreling his way towards goggles here. Meanwhile, Kaiser and Isagi both activate their metavision and sprint up the pitch in order to assist with the attack. With the Kaiser impact, twin guns, and 1v1 Emperor all being up front, Bayern Munich now has the most logical and destructive triangle to lead them towards victory. With Tokimitsu finally arriving at his front, YUKIMIYA chains off the ball to Michael Kaiser, who immediately redirects it to Isagi Yoichi. With YUKIMIYA's power charges and dribbling drawing in the defense, Isagi and Kaiser are able to logically and efficiently set up attacks, which we see Isagi continue with one more pass upfield. We then get another perspective of YUKIMIYA dribbling, this time from the PXG side of things with Karasu Tabito. He first just scoffs at there being another offensive nuisance on the field, as if Michael Kaiser and Isagi were not enough to deal with. Now YUKIMIYA has been added to their arsenal, the 1v1 Emperor who can slip through tight spots and disrupt the defense. We see this happen in the present, as shidou ryusei is left one-on-one with YUKIMIYA due to a failed slide tackle. With Karasu using his metavision to break down the situation, he realizes that if he simply rushes in, YUKIMIYA will fry him with speed and technique. In this scenario, the player that he should target is the person YUKIMIYA intends to pass to, Isagi Yoichi. Karasu begins to do exactly that by ignoring YUKIMIYA and marking Isagi, which in all honesty, he should have known wouldn't be a good plan. Sure enough, it ends up being an unsuccessful play, because YUKIMIYA just takes advantage of there being one less defender, and dribbles on by with the ball in his own possession. With Isagi watching him run off into the distance, he honestly cracks a smile at how twisted and awesome YUKIMIYA is for this. He knew what Karasu would be thinking and made it look like a pass, to then just use Isagi as bait to make a solo charge. Exploiting Kaiser and Isagi's coordination, YUKIMIYA is doing everything he can to make purely himself shine. This then transitions us into part 2 of chapter 288 as Isagi Yoichi sprints in pursuit of YUKIMIYA. He's actually encouraging him to go forth and try his best, because another stable pawn was the last thing he needed. This pitch needed someone exactly like YUKIMIYA, an unexpected piece who can ignite change in the balance of power. On top of that, YUKIMIYA is another selfish genius that Isagi can use, adapting to his presence to further grow his own abilities. Yuki of course intends to prevent this, and will do everything in his own power, even sacrifice himself to beat Isagi Yoichi. As he says this, we see YUKIMIYA glide past two more defenders, leaving him now one-on-one with PXG's goalkeeper. As the goalkeeper prepares himself, YUKIMIYA does the same, and actually activates the Predator Eye visual prowess while staring him down. It seems as though Karasu won't be the final person in this game to have an awakening, because Yuki is now staring down the net with his own glowing cat eyes. He refuses to lose to Isagi, as he was the egoist last game who honed his own talents, so with one last glance, the Emperor goes forth and makes a shot. Two PXG defenders try to leap in and stop it, but unfortunately for them, YUKIMIYA planned for this, and narrowly squeezed the shot through. Everyone is surprised at this turn of events, with even Zantetsu turning his head in horror that the game could now end. With Charles Chevalier giggling in the bottom left though, in comes PXG's child, flying into the air to prevent their shot attempt. This kid has the wildest grin on his face while singing out in victory, even mocking YUKIMIYA by calling his shot basic. It's super funny too because Yuki has manners and calls Charles a clever kid, considering he's only 15. Charles meanwhile shows no respect and is mimicking itoshi, drooping his tongue while singing and mocking them. This is a prime example of why you don't trust shidou or ryusei to babysit your children. Anyways, with the loose ball flying high in the air, isagi yoichi can be seen staring down this 50-50. Mocking with his metavision prowess, he admits that he's been waiting for YUKIMIYA to mess up all along and create this moment of luck for him. Now it's all about deciding how he can reach the ball and what to do. Being 35 meters out from the goal, Isagi is out of his direct shot range, and trapping the ball here would give defenders adequate time to crowd all around him. With the ball quickly dropping towards him, Isagi glances left and right with his metavision, then deciding that the best move is a 1-2 pass with none other than Alexis NESS. With Nanase leaping in just a second too late, Isagi redirects the loose ball back towards NESS, leaving everyone on the pitch in reading an absolute shock. Returning to his 0-point form once more while breaking past Nanase, Isagi then is seen sprinting in front of the goal completely open, urging NESS to pass him the ball and become a pawn for victory. As someone who's been heavily rooting for and predicting for this team up, I'm absolutely furious, because NESS just received the pass and begins to dribble the ball frantically. Isagi looks hella confused by this, as NESS is still looking to do nothing more than pass to Kaiser. Even with his boyfriend being completely marked by both itoshi and shidou ryusei, NESS is still looking for a way to get him the ball. He's actually so emotional and desperate here that his original ego spiral eyes come out, but before any awakening can occur, a lone crow begins to swoop in from the sky above. Plucking the ball off of Alexis NESS and once again taking flight, in comes Tabito Keraso with an amazing slide tackle to clear it away. NESS looks really confused and caught off guard. Meanwhile, even Kerasu knows better and tells this loose dog to make better choices next time. We then get a half page of Alexis NESS realizing how badly he messed up, as Kaiser and Isagi take on super frustrated expressions. Isagi quite literally says that right now, NESS is an utterly useless player. With the loose ball flying out of play, PXG all begin to celebrate with Kerasu. Meanwhile, YUKIMIYA seems more interested in NESS. He realizes that he's being left behind by his environment and even social connections, all because he's hyper-fixated on what he wants to believe in. Interestingly enough, Yuki even continues on to say that it's like looking at another version of himself. Another route he could have gone if it were not for isagi yoichi, and shackling his ego and changing his perception. Unlike Yuki though, Alexis NESS doesn't have someone to connect his ego to, and is actively being a cancer cell harming his team's growth. Realizing this, Yuki decides to revise his thinking with the standard of those who can't keep up with Isagi and Kaiser are being left behind and will wither away. The final page of today's chapter is actually quite the brutal one, with Kaiser calling out to Alexis NESS. It's not for a wholesome reason though, because with one single glance, Kaiser just tells his old friend to give up on soccer. Give up completely. Isagi and Kaiser are just taking any opportunity they get to aura farm lately. Meanwhile, NESS is breaking down and sobbing profusely. The chapter just ends with Isagi glaring into her souls using metavision, as black and white pieces fly into the sky representing his alliance with the Emperor. This sport is a death game which follows the rules of natural selection, so those who can't keep up and adapt should give up and move on. With that being the end of chapter 288 part 1 and 2, I do have some sad news to share with you all. Blue Lock will once again be on break, so chapter 289 will not release officially until January 21st. This means the next leak should be around January 18th or 19th, so we'll once again be crying through some more weeks. Luckily we do have the title for the upcoming chapter, which oddly enough is just Pig. As I said in my leak overview, pigs are commonly used as ritualistic sacrifices and also reviewed as symbols of gluttony and greed. For this reason, I believe Pig is most likely in reference to NESS and the concept of his ego not being currently bound to someone. Even YUKIMIYA admitted that his ego is in a way bound to isagi yoichi, and considering we saw Alexis NESS take on his egotistical spiral eye, I assume he will now try to find a new ruler. Anyways, with that sadly being the end of today's chapter, I just want to thank you all so much for tuning in to watch. If you enjoy staying updated with Blue Lock or just want to support my channel, please consider clicking that subscribe button and commenting below for the algorithm. I also have a community Discord you can find linked down below, so if you'd like to chat with me or other fans of the series, please feel free to join up. I hope to do semi-daily uploads and streams through 2025, but I'm going to be honest, I should probably wait until this sickness is over, but I'm going to do my best. Thank you all so much again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.